Time for our cooking class. We seem to be getting later and later every week. We won't get much later than this. We've just had a very busy day today. So welcome along to ASMY cooking classes. This is a vegan recipe today. We're making orange self-saucing pudding. So if you're really into citrus like I am, it's the recipe for you. Lots of orange. It's very orangey, it's rich, and it's delicious. And simple, the Gayatri way. So here we go. We're just going to have the dry ingredients in one bowl, the wet ingredients in the other. We're going to mix them together, put them in. We've got our syrup, which is just sugar and raw sugar. I always like to use raw. I won't use caster or anything. So any sort of sweetener you like, and orange juice mixed together. You warm them up so that the sugar melts, and then you pour it over the top, pop it in the oven. And it takes around about 30 minutes or so in the oven, 30 to 40 minutes, until you stick a skewer into the cake and it comes out clean. Don't press it all the way down, of course, because it won't come out clean, because it'll get the syrup. The syrup will sink to the bottom. So that's as easy as it is, easy as it gets. So we have got 2 cups of self-raising flour. So that goes in our dry bowl. We have 2/3 of a cup of raw sugar that goes into the bowl of dry ingredients. We have a zest of 2 oranges, so make it nice and orangey. The zest really does bring the orange flavor out. And we mix them together. Just make sure that zest is fully incorporated and it's not lumpy. Although if it is a bit lumpy, it will come out when you add the wet ingredients. And this particular cake, it doesn't matter if you mix it a lot, because it's more of a pudding texture. So it's not a light and fluffy cake, it's a bit more heavy. Okay, and we have our wet ingredients now, which is 1/2 cup of melted butter. I've used Nuttelex. We have a cup of orange juice. Just check that is a cup. Oh, it's perfect. And we have got our yogurt. We've got coconut yogurt. We just use the Aldi one. I love the Aldi one. Now this is the egg replacer. So there's many things you can use, but I found with a sort of a heavy puddingy cake, the yogurt is the best egg replacer. So maybe next week we'll go through the different egg replacers that you can use, because it doesn't have to be the one you buy in the shops. There's so many different egg replacers or ways that you can replace eggs. So that means that you can, veganize or vegetarianize any cake really, when you know the little hints. So we just make sure that these really mixed well together. We're going to add the wet to the dry ingredients, so make a well in the center. Add that in. And then we mix this up well, so there's no lumps. Actually, I think this looks like it's going to be a bit big. I think that other one might be better. Do you mind getting that other one? But we're trying to work out, because we did a quadruple recipe for the mantra room. This is only a double now, so we're just trying to get the right size pan. Decisions. You want the big one? Okay, we'll go with the big one. All it means, it doesn't really matter too much. This is the one we've got already. It did rise quite a bit though, so we're probably best to be safe than sorry and put it in the higher one. All it'll mean is that the cake is a little flatter. So we're going to pour the cake in. Real life cooking here, working things out as we go. Busy people do that. Most of the desserts seem to work out well at the mantra room. So we'll just spread that out. So it is a little flat, but it will rise up. Okay, because it's self-raising flour. So just make sure that that is nicely smoothed over. Okay, and we have got now some orange juice. We have got 2.5 cups of orange juice and mixed with 1 1/3 cup of sugar, raw sugar. You could probably use maple syrup if you like. Can't see it to be any different. And then we're going to, it's quite a lot of, it will seem a lot of sauce, but it's really good. So I think it's good to use the whole amount. And this cake soaks it up the longer you leave it. So if, you know, we've left ours a day or so, I made this one the other day, and it's soaked up a lot of the sauce. So it seems to be the right amount, even though you might feel that it's too saucy to begin with. So now what you need to do is have a spoon so that the syrup doesn't just drop straight onto the cake, or you'll end up with big holes in it. So bring the spoon quite close down and just very gently pour it over. So you just need to heat the juice up enough for the sugar to melt. Didn't take too long. You can microwave it, or you can just put it on the stove in a saucepan. So just gently pouring this over the top. So it looks like an awful lot of sauce, and I'm really glad that we went for the high one. It definitely wouldn't have fitted. So even the other day I just sat it out on the bench for a little while I put everything away, because I wanted it hot for everyone, so I didn't want to put it in the oven too soon beforehand, so it was still hot when everyone arrived. And even while I waited to put it in the oven, the cake actually started to rise up above the syrup. The syrup will sink to the bottom. So when it comes out of the oven, I'll show you, we served this one out last night. So this is what it will look like. Okay, cuts beautifully, but you can see it's a sort of a heavy cake. It's got more of a puddingy texture than a light fluffy cake. And look how much lovely sauce is in that. So nice. So the sauce will be on the bottom. That size pan was a quadruple. So you can see this, the cake's starting to sort of rise up now. So all you can virtually see is the sauce on the top. Can you see that there? I don't want to sort of tip it on its end. Yeah? Okay, so we'll put this, you can see the cake's starting to come up now. So that's okay, it'll all just come to the surface as it cooks. So moderate oven for around about half an hour to 40 minutes, depending on your oven. If you've got fan forced, that's better. Fan force cooks much more evenly. And this is the finished product here. So it's nice to warm it up. You can put it, the foil back over it, pop it in the oven until it warms up, or you can use your microwave if you're a microwaver. I personally prefer to use the oven method. Years since I've had a microwave, and I find that you need something on it. It's quite rich and orangey, so you need either some sort of cream. You could put coconut cream, a nice thick coconut cream. You could whip the coconut cream by taking the thick layer off the top of the can. If you put it in the fridge first, it'll separate. Take that really thick layer off. You can add a bit of maple syrup or a little bit of vinegar, and then, sorry, not vinegar, a little bit of vanilla, and then you can use your hand mixer and whip it up until it becomes like whipped cream. But my favorite is the coconut yogurt. So you can just add some coconut yogurt to the top. Let's go one more. And there you have an absolutely beautiful orange self-saucing pudding. So I'm going to try this. I've already offered it, and let's give it a try. It's really divine. As long as you like oranges. If you don't like oranges, this is definitely not the cake for you. So namaste, and thank you very much for joining me this week, and I'll see you again next week. Thinking of doing lemon brownies. I don't know why they're called brownies, because brown means brown and they're not brown. So I'd say they're probably more like lemon blondies, but they're a lemon slice, similar texture to brownies. And we're on a citrus roll at the moment. So I hope you like citrus. Haribo.